The sound of my brother's snoring awakes me from my slumber, and I'm hit with the fact that I'm shoved in a car with my whole entire family in a rental car with all of our luggage as we drive back to Litchfield, Minnesota from Las Vegas, Nevada. In March of 2020, we decided to take a spring break trip to Las Vegas, and it was super fun. I got to see many new things like the Strip, and I got to meet a lot of new people on my mom's side of the family I've never met before. Overall, it was a good time, but throughout the week we could see shops closing down, and on the last day of our trip, as we were heading to the airport, flight after flight was getting canceled, so we decided to make the gruesome road trip back to Litchfield, Minnesota. As soon as we arrived home, we couldn't get further enough away from each other, but we're happy with the fact that spring break was extended an extra week, which eventually led into lockdown. Although quarantine can be seen as a rough time for many, I believe that through some struggles, I came out better and I grew so many qualities. The first thing I grew during quarantine was a tighter bond with my family. I've always been tight with my family, but having no school or activities forced us to become best friends. One way that I gained a better relationship with my siblings were watching movies. Almost every single night, my sisters and I would turn a Disney Plus movie on, and we'd make popcorn, play games, and just talk. It was a good bonding moment, and every single night I just valued it. Looking back, I wish I could do that on school nights, but I can't anymore. Another thing that my family did to gain a tighter bond was go to my grandma's house. My grandma lives alone, so it was good for her to have some family interaction, and she also lives on a lake, so in the warmer months, we were able to go fishing and swimming, which was good. Another thing that my family did was go to our family farm, which is just outside of Marshall, Minnesota. There's lots of land out there and ATV trails and fishing, so it was a good way just to get out of the house without any other outside interaction and just to be a part of nature. So I enjoyed going there. We went there, I think, 3 times over the course of quarantine. The last thing that my family did to gain a tighter bond was having family meals together. My mom was able to work from home, and my siblings and I didn't have any school or activities, so we were all able to have a good meal with everyone in the family. Normally, throughout the school year, we're all rushed in the morning, so breakfast is just a granola bar or a banana, and after school, we're all tired from practice, so we just heat up our food, eat it, and go to bed. But this is different because we were able to spend time together. Getting a tighter bond with my family made me at my best, but another thing that helped me was having better mental health. In 8th grade, there wasn't much stress, but taking time away from my friends, school, and sports, I was able just to take time for myself and really appreciate who I was as a person. I was eating better. I had more time to make and bake food. I had more motivation because school wasn't on my mind, and it was just a good time overall. My mom also started a garden, so in the summer months of quarantine, I was able to have fresh veggies, which helped me. And the last thing that helped my motivation was getting a new cat. I got my cat in May of 2020 at the longest part of quarantine. His name's Ricky Bobby, and I just love him. And my cat loved him, and my dogs really loved him as well. Being mentally healthy was good for me, but overall, I think the best part of quarantine was being physically healthy. Quarantine allowed me to get as much sleep as I needed. Whether I wanted 14 hours of sleep one night or 2 the next, I could decide. I didn't have any bedtime or wake-up call, and it was just very flexible for me to just get enough sleep every single night. Another thing that helped me stay physically healthy was getting more exercise. My family started a bunch of new activities like pickleball. We still do pickleball today, it's one of our favorites, and dog walks. Not only were dog walks important for the people in our house, but they were also important for the dogs. It was good for us just to get out of the house and go to Darwin Hill or Youngstrom Woods to go for a walk. Another thing my family took up was soccer and roller hockey. These are just fun things we had in our garage that we never had any interest in doing before, but we were able to do them, and it was fun until someone got hurt. One thing I liked to do myself was going around the lake and putting some music in. Whether it was running or walking, I enjoyed taking time for myself away from my family and getting out in nature without having any interaction with anyone else. And another thing that I did to help me stay physically fit was jumping on my trampoline. I love my trampoline a lot, and we grew our tightest bond over quarantine. The last thing that I did to stay physically healthy was pull weeds. This happens every time. Oh my goodness. opened up in June, so I was able to pull weeds and make a little money, which is good for my physical health and my bank account. From March of 2020 through July, I was able to slow my life down a little bit and truly appreciate the small things in myself. I was mentally healthy and physically healthy, but I also gained a tighter relationship with my family. I never want to repeat anything like COVID-19 again because many people had lots of atrocities, but I believe that during quarantine, I was at my best when life slowed down a little bit. My name is Abby, and thank you for listening to my speech.